The braids, you know, doing some real work, getting on my grind. But I was watching this video about this dude yesterday, and he was talking about this game. And the way the game is set up, I think it was called Wastelands 3 or something. And it's like the way he was like describing the game, it was like, of course you like this game, dude. I mean, not nothing against the game or the people who made it per se, but it's kind of like this whole post-apocalyptic world bullshit is just tiring. I mean, it's just like it basically, in my opinion, just feels like this is this is how certain people want to see the world because they feel like the world has abandoned them, so it should be burned. If they can't get what they want out of it, then the whole world should be burned down. And it's like, because in this video he was talking about something about like um feminism or something, and then he was like, he brought up like woke politics. And every time I hear that, it's like whoever uses that term, it's just like, dude, just shut the fuck up, dude, because you're not being funny using that. You're not trying to be witty or like try to take these sarcastic digs and not know where the derivative of that word came from, or why it's being used but altered now in this time, because people was saying that but not using that particular word. And it's like you don't know where the word came from to try to be like, I gotcha type thing. It's like you just sound corny, and you just sound like a fucking pussy, to be honest. Because it's like, I'm not going to seriously get upset about people trying to be represented in whatever like field that they're being in. It's like, oh, there's a group of people that want to be represented in whatever the case is. I mean, I'm not going to get bent out of shape. It's just like, okay, let them live. I'm not going to be trying to chastise or interrogate or be like, oh, they're trying to use woke politics. It's like, stop. Like I said, you sound corny using that, dude. And it just makes you sound weak trying to get people on something where it's like, we we want to be somewhere too, and you're literally trying to stop them. It just makes it seem sad on your end that you just can't just let everybody live. If it's not going to what your beliefs are and your worldview, if it's not going with that, then it's just, I don't want to hear it, or you're trying to be woke and all this other goofy shit. It's just like, stop. And then it's just like the whole argument of, people saying um like we don't want politics in video games. Like, there's politics in mostly every video game you play, but you don't get mad at the politics that you agree with or don't pertain to you. It's just like Ghost of Tsushima have politics in that game, but you're not going to get mad at that. You only say that when you feel like your group is being attacked. And most of the time, when you're talking about politics in games, you're gonna basically get attacked. Cause you complain that the people making these games are on the left and everything. And even with the thing with the whole like thing about The Last of Us. Like, I never played one. I'm not gonna play two, just because the whole zombie post-apocalyptic shit is just, it's just done to death. And it is just like, oh, here we go again with this. It's like the same setting. I said this in a video before that I had to delete. It's just like all these post-apocalyptic games like Days Gone, um, The Last of Us. Just take your pick. It just all feels like it's in the same universe. It's almost like you played one, you damn near played all of them. I mean, the same um like protagonist is in the game. It might be slightly varied from the it's a slight variation from the last dude, but it's pretty. It's like Deacon St. John and Joel could be cousins. I mean, or dude, Deacon St. John was in Oregon, and Joe ended up in like Seattle or something. So it's like they're like next door to each other, and it's like it just feels like it's basically the same thing. And I'm like, it's basically just ridiculous at this point with all this stuff, and it's just all the whole politics, and it's just like, just hearing these dudes getting mad over representation. It just seems corny to me. You know what? Well, what is he saying? And like I said, they just feel like they're losing something. So I'm like, just stop using all these terms that you sound dumb saying it. You know what I'm saying? It's just and then dude sat up there and was talking about one of these pseudo intellectuals on the dark web and all that bullshit. And I just feel like, okay, if you're an intellectual, how come like, I wouldn't say everything, I would say a good 90% of everything these pseudo intellectuals are talking about is wrong? If you're supposed to be this intellectual person, you're supposed to be on some like real shit and be like, okay, I see where this person's coming from. But it's like they be talking about, like, especially like with race relations, more than 90% of everything they're saying is wrong. And it's like they never debate people, hardly, which I've never seen. They never debate people on the opposite side. They only talk to people that they agree with. But they wouldn't talk to anybody on some real shit, because they know that arguments will fall apart. They built their house on sand, and it's not gonna come out right. And but these nutsacks be like paying attention to them. They be hanging on their every word, they be going along with their talking points and everything. It's just like I said, stop, dude. Just stop on some real shit. It's like I said, they only feel this way because they just feel like the world is against them and they gotta burn everything down. That's why they live in this post-apocalyptic fantasy bullshit. And it's like, I don't even know, like, the people that actually make these games, I'm questioning them. And it's just like the whole thing, like, the people that make these games are liberal. And it was like, trust me, I never played. Like a lot of these games I'm talking about, I only watch people play it on YouTube because I'm not spending $60 on no shit like that. But like okay, it's just like The Last of Us 2. They talked about Neil Druckmann being so liberal, but he wasn't liberal enough to keep some of the black people he created in his games to live. I mean, it's just like the two brothers in the first one, they died. The black chick at the end of the first one, she died. And those like the only three black people in the game. And from what I heard, because I didn't watch anybody play part two, but it was like the one black dude in the second one, he died. But you're talking about Neil Druckmann, he's a liberal. I'm like, really? How? So I'm like, and I said this. Anybody like even in I think the Resident Evil with Nemesis in it or something. It's like the one black dude that I've seen, the cop dude, he ended up dying. The one black dude. So I'm like, so I said this. I was like, anybody in games, movies that put one black dude in there shit like that, rather movies or video games, and you kill them off. It's just whoever wrote this, directed it, any or the people, just the whole thing. Everybody's racist in the shit. Cause nobody stops and be like, the one black dude has to die. Really? Using the same trope over and over again? Nobody says nothing. It's just they just go along with it. So is you doing all that, then you're just designated as a bona fide racist. You could say like, oh no, I'm a liberal and all this, and it's kind of like, okay, what's that supposed to mean? I mean, that's just ridiculous having one person. And it's like they never do this to any other group. There's like not like a lone Asian dude, and then he or a lone Asian person and they just die, or the lone Hispanic person and they die. It's mostly always against black people all the time. And it's just playing video games and just watching the shit or watching movies. It's just I was like, come on, dude. It's like you get tired of seeing the shit. So it's just like if that's how it is, then did you just a bona fide race? You're no different from any like neo-Nazi somewhere. And if somebody says like, "Oh no, no, that's not it," I mean, like the evidence that you're showing me proves that you are. Because when you make a movie or any product like that, you're basically writing your fantasies come to life. And by manifesting one black person in your script and they end up dying, that goes to show you that you fantasize about killing black people because he or she is the only one there. And then I remember having this conversation with a friend of mine. He was like, oh, but other people die in movies too. Yeah, but it's like you have 5 characters. One of them is a black dude. The rest of the 4 are white, or whatever. The rest of the 4 are just white. Just put it that way. Then you might have 2, like the one black dude dies, then 2 white people die, but there's 2 other white people that live in the movie. So it's not saying that, like, it's not this like hidden message saying anything about the white characters. You kill off the one black dude or the one black chick. And it's like, so all the stuff about like Neil Druckmann, oh, he's a liberal. I'm like, where? So it's just like on some real shit. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. Like, oh no, he's actually pretty cool. I mean, not in his actions in his storytelling. So I'm not gonna sit up there and buy the shit. But it's just like, but when you got like people like this dude I'm talking about woke politics and everything, it just let me know where he stands in his ideologies. And then he be trying to be sarcastic and witty. And this is the thing about people always trying to be sarcastic. some of the stuff that you talking about, that you reference to, half of the shit people don't even know what the fuck you talking about. So I'm like, dude, just stop. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I really don't want to do all that. And matter of fact, I'll work on a weapon or something. But it's just like on some real shit, dude. It's just like I'm not buying all this bullshit. I mean, but going back to the whole like woke thing, it's just like I said, just stop doing that, dude. And then most of the people that's always talking about this whole post-apocalyptic shit, if the shit actually went down, they would be hiding under a log somewhere, being scared because they wouldn't know what to do. Like, okay, you like all this shit, and you've trained in a video game how to like survive and fight for resources and all that goofy lame bullshit. Let's see you do that shit if the shit really happened. You, like I said, you'll be crying home to your mom somewhere. That's on some real shit though, but it's just like these dudes be whining about first world problems and shit. Like I said, like they don't want other people to like I said, if there was like some transgendered person and they was like, games don't represent me or something, just anything. I mean, I'd be like, why would I be upset about that individual trying to be represented in something? It'd just be like, I mean, let them be somewhere. I mean, it ain't bothering me. Like I don't know why it upsets people so much. I know what the deal is, but it's kind of like I'm actually like being facetious technically. Like why does it bother them or whoever's complaining about it so much? Why does it bother you? It's the thing I want to know. Like why? Damn, what the fuck? Like why does it bother you so much that like women or whatever group of people want to be somewhere. Like the dude was talking about like the female protagonist wasn't about girl power. Like okay, even if this particular character was about girl power, why would it bother you though? Like I'm like I said, I'm just asking the question. I mean, I know the answer, but it's just like, okay, why does it bother you that she's this chick is talking about like I'm a female bad guy or whatever the case is, and I'm talking about girl power and my shit. Like it would just be like to me, it would just be like, oh, it just be like, okay, this is her character trait, this is her thing. Like I wouldn't be making a motherfucking hour long video complaining about it. You'd be like, oh, that's what she's on, then you know what I'm saying? That's what she's on. I mean, at times it could be cheesy or just kind of like the whole thing, like, Okay, I see what she's pushing. But at the same time, though, I mean, let her push the shit. I mean, like I said, it's just, I mean, it's like water off a duck's back to me. Like, it's just like, oh, let her, let her say what she want to say about the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like I said, this shit don't bother me. I mean, hell, even with the whole thing, like if there's a black character that dies in something, it's just like I look at it like, okay, here we go again. But it'll just be like I'll just change the channel or like away from the movie. You know what I mean? Depending on how it goes, I might say something, but I'm not gonna get on like a platform like YouTube or something and just go into the director and the writer's history and say all this other shit. It's just like that's what they're on. I'm not fucking with them. But like I said, if there's a group that just want to be like somewhere, I mean, just let them fucking be somewhere. I mean, there's no skin off my motherfucking nose. But for some reason, it's just like it's this whole thing. It's like this whole, like, I'm losing something type attitude. Like, you're not losing nothing. And that's the thing. You're not losing nothing. Like the whole thing about Rey and Star Wars. It's like that whole thing. Like and then it was like even with Finn, I would say Finn disappointed a lot of black people in the black community. Yes, Finn as the character, not John Boyega, but even people was looking at him like he did Attack the Block. He was the leader in that, but then he comes to America and basically turns into some space slave. So it's like, I mean, it's Disney we're talking about, so it's like, I mean, we see the fuckery going on. So, and I was like, I wasn't I wasn't mad per se. You know what I'm saying? I was like pissed about it. But then because like my stuff was just supposed to be a straight up comic book in a video game. I never intended to write a movie off of um my series. But then at the same time my man gave me the writing program and I was writing movies, in my own spare time. I was writing the scripts to him. But then when I saw the first, like, what the Force Awakens with Star Wars or whatever the fuck it's called, then that's when I decided. I said, you know what, I'm writing movies to Black Dragon number 8 Genesis. I'm writing the movies to it because I was just like, damn, look how they did the dude though. Look how they did this brother. And that's the start of it. I mean, at least even in my complaint, I did something about it. Like it's even like with this, even with like what I'm doing now, it's just like making like there's a lot of games I don't like, and I would never play them. But it was like when this type of shit fell into my lap, it was like okay, at least I can do something about it. Even if I get on like some type of thing, and I was like, oh fuck this game and all this shit, but and somebody was like, well, stop complaining about it. It's like well, at least for me, in my complaint, I could actually do something about it. It's gonna take me a long time because I'm doing this shit by myself, but at least I can do something about it though. I'm not just gonna be like, I'm gonna complain for an hour and that's it. So I'm like, that's what's up. And like I said, I feel like all these dudes is always talking about they're liberal, and I'm like, wow. And it's like, you think liberals can't be racist? And it's like, and it's not to anybody else but black people. Like that. What's her name? That Amy Cooper chick in New York, and she was like pointing in the camera and talking about like, oh, I'm gonna call the cops on you, and she was like, oh, but I voted for Barack Obama, so how could I be racist? I'm like, bitch, what? You know what I'm saying? So so you using that as an out, like, oh, I'm liberal. What's that supposed to mean? Yikes! You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the? Wait a minute, huh? Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? That ain't supposed to mean nothing to me. Cause I see what the deal is. And I'm not gonna seriously sit up there and be like, motherfuckers can't say nothing because it hurts somebody's feelings. Cause I'm gonna just be like, I mean, that's how people, quote unquote, do better. Now you call them out on their bullshit, which is bullshit, and then just let them on some real shit try to do better. Now, if they do better, I mean, they might try to be like, "Oh, I'm genuinely sorry. I didn't know." I mean, that's all cool, but do better over there. Don't try to prove to me that you're doing better, cause I don't know if you might want to relapse somewhere and get back to the same old ways, or you just putting on the front. Like I said, that whole I apologize, I'll do better. I mean, that's all cool for you. That ain't gonna be cool for me. Cause you should know better how this shit looks as a grown person. You know what I mean? Like, you a grown person, and in all this ignorance and like insensitivity bullshit, like I said, like that's like me right now, and I'm doing something like, I don't want to be picking on no Asians or nothing, but that's like me doing like a character, like he's interacting with this Asian character, and he does this, like, I don't even want to say, I can't even say the word. I don't want to say the word, but do the fucked up thing with the eyes, and then the Asian community is like, oh, like, what the fuck is this? They'd be like, oh, I didn't know. Like, what? You're sitting up there like, what the fuck? How could you not know? Like, that looks fucked up. Be like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing sensitivity training and shit. It's like, no, that's not gonna fly right. Because me, I should know better that that's some fucked up shit. Like, why would I do that? So it's like, I don't want to hear all this, like, this like, oh, I didn't know how fucked up that is. Like I said, if you see the light, okay, that's fine. See the light over there. I don't want to. I mean, you told me you saw the light, although that's cool, but they ain't saying nothing for me. I'm like, oh, because it shouldn't take a grown person to know how fucked up that is. And with all this like police brutality and shit going on, and you want to kill some black dude off in your fantasy shit. Like, damn, aren't black people suffering enough in real life? We gotta suffer in somebody's fantasy too? It's like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, I ain't trying to hear all that. Like I said, I don't care, dude. I don't care how you taking this shit. I mean, that's for real, dude. And people today just keep going along with it and not know how fucked up it looks. Or it just goes to show that they really never cared in the first place, even though they claim they did. But it's just like all these dudes, and it's just like the whole like that theme that they had about Black Lives Matter. It's like there was these dudes. There was two videos I saw, and they're sitting up there getting mad. They were getting mad over a theme for your PlayStation that you can get for free. You don't have to get it, and you don't have to put it on your shit. You could have just see. This is the thing. This is the thing. Like with all these dudes and all these incels, they're too reactionary over shit that is just like it's just too reaction. They're just too reactionary. It's like you're getting mad over something you can get for free, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna get mad over that. Like I said, going back to that whole incel movement shit. I mean, hell, I could be considered an incel. I don't have a girl. I haven't had a girlfriend in basically since '08. But I'm not going to be mad over the shit though. It's just like, oh, I get one when I get it. If I ever find a chick, it'll just be like, okay, I like when if my time comes, my time comes. I'm not gonna be mad like, oh fuck women, and that's why they shouldn't have rights and all this shit. I'm like, I mean, chicks turn me down. I had one serious girlfriend in my whole life in '08. And that shit only lasted for like what 3 months or 2.5 months, and that's considered a serious relationship. And it's just like, okay, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like it's fucked up, but it's just it just that's just how the cookie crumbles. I mean, cause you being mad, I mean, you like people could sense the anger, and that's where you fuck up at. Just let the shit go. Just be like, oh, I mean, it's and look, I understand the frustration. I really do. I truly do. But I mean, especially in this age of like I got your moments and all this shit, and you looking this desperate and thirsty, people could sense the shit. And if you want to get mad over people being, have representation in the shit, and you being mad over it, like people could sense that there's something else going on. Like matter of fact, it was this dude. He was like listen to me on this podcast. And so I was like, I was apprehensive, but I was like, all right, fuck it. And so he was talking to these dudes. He was talking to these dudes. And he was like, and this one guy, he was sitting up there being mad. And he was like, oh yeah, women shouldn't have rights. And that was the first time I heard it. I was like, I was hearing it. I wasn't in the podcast, but I was listening to it. And so as soon as he said that, I was like, damn. Like that was some extreme shit. Like he wanted to take away women's rights from him. I didn't laugh, but it's funny hearing the shit and thinking about it now. Like that was extreme. And so he was like saying some shit, and he was like mad. It was like you could tell this dude was real mad about something. And I'm like, something happened to this dude, because no dude would just be like, oh, women, I'm gonna take their shit from them. Fuck women and their rights. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, there's something clearly wrong with this dude. And so then I heard the dude, he was like, oh my, I was in the military and my girlfriend cheated on me while I was overseas. And I was like, that's it. Because you wouldn't be that mad for no reason. Something happened to you. And that was the thing. And I was like, see, that was it. It's you just mad over some shit. And then like but he had like kids. I think he had kids with this chick. I guess he was married, I don't know. So but I mean his grievance though is a legitimate grievance. I mean, his chick cheated on him. I mean, that was fucked up. But I mean, just to turn around and be like, women shouldn't have shit, is like, come on, man, that's taking it too far. Say that was too extreme. And it's like, oh, come on, not the light. It's like you could, like I said, you could tell. You could sense it on somebody. Like something is really going on up there. Because if women want to have all this girl power, and which is a term from the Spice Girls in the 90s, I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know about that because they were like born or just like infants when the Spice Girls was out. But if that's how they want to get down, just let them get down. I'm not bothered over it. I'm not even bothered. And then look, it's just like with people talking about like the whole culture and shit. Like, and then here's another thing. I came up with my stuff in 1999. It was August 1999. I've been trying to get it out there ever since. I had the novel in 2011, 2012, a little bit of 2013. So it's not like I didn't get out there. But and that's a whole nother story because people got jealous and people got mad. But I remember one time in 2001, and my man, he was like, he had his own characters with these big titties. They were like these cat chicks with big titties. And so we saw a voice actor. I'm not gonna say who it was, but me, my friend, and the voice actor was like, he signed our picture. He was talking about the characters. We was laughing. So this one chick, she was the Karen before the Karen thing came out. So she was like, she had her kid with her. And she was like, she saw the picture and she was like, oh, don't you think it's inappropriate for for characters to look like that or something? And then me, my friend, and the voice actor was laughing. We was kind of basically laughing at her. And then she walked off. And so with all this stuff going around, and this is my man's like project, my shit, I know people gonna get mad. I know for a fact 100%, not 100% people gonna be saying the most craziest shit. And so you really think, like, I mean, I got chicks that wear like scantily clad chicks, like how they got on Mortal Kombat and they was talking about the women that are more covered up now and they people got mad. And it's like, again, I came up with my stuff in 1999. Do you really think that if people start complaining like, oh, the chicks are too scantily clad, do you think I'm gonna change my shit after all this time and you just came out of nowhere? Like, I mean, look, I'm all for like chicks getting their shit, but I'm like, I'm not gonna change if feminism, if the feminists have a problem with it. I would ride for a feminist. Like, okay, you want rights? I mean, I get the grievance. I mean, you make less than a man. I get all that. I get all that. But I'm not going to change my shit for nobody. I'm not going to change it for nobody. I don't give a fuck who it is because you wasn't there when I created the shit. So why are you coming out of the blue, this rando person coming out the blue now? I mean, because, like, you even seen one of my characters. I mean, she got the high split. Her thighs are all showing. You think I care? Somebody be like, oh, she should cover up. Be like, bitch, fuck you. You see what I'm saying? If some other dude comes around and be like, oh, you're doing this to the dudes and I'd be like, okay, and like, I don't care. Like, there's an interracial couple in my project. Do you think I'm gonna be caring about if somebody was like, oh, why you gotta be with the white chick though? Or like this promotes interracial couples or all this other shit. It's like, I don't care because the shit existed in 99. Some of these motherfuckers, like I said, weren't born or infants when I was making the shit. So now you a young 20-something years old, I'm supposed to kowtow to your shit? Like, get the fuck out of here, bitch. I don't care. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, and I mean the shit is like, I mean, just if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. If you, I mean, cause I got like, again, here's the thing. In some of these videos, you've seen these characters pop up. I have over 220 something characters that I made in here. Now the comic books or novels or whatever, I have over 1,000 characters throughout the time of the shit. All these characters are not going to be the same. Like, my mom is in my own project. She's not wearing bikini top. She's always covered up. But do you have like some other characters like that just basically fighting like a one-piece bathing suit? Titties all up, titties showing, thighs all out. So it's like all of them supposed to be covered up. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if there's like a dude on there or somebody says something, like okay, one dude on YouTube a long time ago, this was in 2009, and I was talking about racism in video games. And this was in 2009. One dude said, if I'm going to make a video game, if I'm going to make a lead character, the motherfucker's going to be white. And this is a white dude saying that. And so I pondered on that shit for a while. And I was like, what could I say about that? I mean, it's been like that since the beginning of storytelling. You make the shit that you know. Now, the one dude that I give a lot of respect to is Todd McFarlane, because he didn't have to make Spawn black. But he did. And I was like, that's cool. One dude I met, he was the short, red-headed guy. He was a white dude. And he was saying how he wants to make, he made a black character. But how did he phrase it? He didn't know how to write this dude. Like, he basically didn't want to be insensitive to black people. The way this dude was, how he was, how he wrote them. And according to, if I could remember correctly, like, he was like the leader of this like like place on another planet, and and it's just like the whole thing. He was like some dude on the planet somewhere. So I was like, if you're making a black guy on a whole nother planet, you don't have to go by the rules of Earth. Like, it's like on another planet, you could just like, there is no racism on this planet. Because the whole racism thing didn't exist. Because they are smart enough to know that whatever planet they're on, they're all part of that species. And so just let them be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could basically write your own rules. It's like on the planet that we came from, there is no racism. Of course, there's prejudice between non-magic users and magic users, but it's like anybody could be a part of those two groups. Now, when we come to Earth and we see the fucked up shit that humans have done to each other, then it's like, damn. Because even one of my characters laughed at my wife. I don't have a wife in real life, but in the comic book, her friend laughed at her when she heard about like people hating each other over skin color. And her friend is a black woman, and she was with a white dude and another black chick, and they was laughing at laughing with each other, basically laughing at my wife in the comic book. And she was like, this is like messed up, why you laughing? And she was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Because nobody would do that, like, oh, you're this hue of a skin color, something that you can't control because, you know, you're born this way, and then I'm going to hate on you. That's dumb. That's some dumb shit. And she was like telling her, like, you need to really come back home and get off that planet. And it's the whole thing. So, anyway. So, it's just like, whatever, like, you can have a black dude on a planet and just have them be whatever of that world that you create. I mean, you don't have to, you're not bound by the rules of Earth if you're doing something on a whole nother planet somewhere. And I told the dude that. And I don't know what happened to the dude, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. He's probably a part of some white supremacist movement by now. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, I'm not gonna seriously be like getting mad over some people that just want to live. Let people live. Now what the fuck should I do with this handle? But like I said, I'm just all in the thing, like live and let live. I mean, if you're not being racist, you ain't harming yourself or somebody else. Like, I don't care. Like, somebody want to make a gay superhero, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I got like my cousins in my own shit, and one of my cousins is gay. He's a gay dude. If somebody got a problem with that, I mean, then you just, I don't know what the fuck to say. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I gotta take my cousin out because some dude doesn't like it, and it's all about representation and LGBT. You'll be like, what the fuck? So I'm supposed to like kick my cousin out of my own shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you wasn't there when I created it. And then, like I said, this was before all these movements started popping up. So now you got all these movements popping up. I'm not gonna be, no. I mean, I got like plus size chicks is doing some real shit before the plus size community started popping up. Like I said, this was in 1999, way before social media came out, way before um Like all these social movements and before the internet was really like on something. I mean, the best that we had was chat rooms. I mean, so like after all this time, I'm gonna be like, somebody was like, "Oh man, like fat chicks can't do all that." So I'm supposed to like not do it now after all this time, and then we're talking about some extraterrestrial, otherworldly shit. So I'm not bound by the laws of physics. I mean, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is the laws of physics to me? That don't mean nothing. You see what I'm saying? And it's just like the dude in the video I was talking about. He's seriously sitting up here talking some shit like the the gun physics, this, that, and the other. And if you got shot with this gun and at a close range, you may not feel it and all this. Just like, dude, it's a fucking video game. You see what I'm saying? It's a video game. Why are you taking that shit too serious? I mean, it's just I'm sitting up there like, my man, calm down. It is a video game. Why are you so animate about it? And you're like, oh, they need to get gun enthusiasts and all this other shit. It's like, I see that you're like a gun dude. I get that's your passion, but it's a video game, dude. It's a game. I mean, just calm down, man. Just calm down. And it's just like, to me, more than half of the shit is funny to me. Like, if you really want to know my honest opinion, like all this shit going on, it's serious to some people, but at the same time, though, at the same time, the shit is ridiculous. I'm like, my man, just calm down. Because, like I said, you just look like, I mean, just complaining about like shit in a video game. Like, on some shit like that, or just complaining about certain shit in general. Like, it just goes to show you how privileged you are. Like, you don't have to worry about some like Officer Clan or Officer Sheets stopping you in the street and dying. That's a real problem for people that look like me. But people that look like other people, whatever, it's like, oh, my thing is complaining about a video game or Kaepernick or that. What the dude say? It was a media circus of what he was doing, and he's talking some real shit that affects millions of people. He's not complaining about, oh, women are trying to encroach themselves in my safe space known as video games. But oh, Kaepernick was doing a media circus though. And it's like, wow, a media circus, dude. See, that's just like I said, it just goes to show you what type of shit is going on here. Because people were just talking some real world shit. I mean, I'm sorry, like I'm not even sorry, but I mean, that just goes to show you how, like, you don't have to worry about that though. And then it's like, then he got this like this other guy I'm talking about, the whole media circus thing. I mean, he got this like smug attitude and shit, and I'm like, that's why people feel the certain way they feel about people like him, because you just can't be like, not say nothing about it or just rock out with it. Like I get the thing, especially he's saying this like 3 months after George Floyd. So it was like all the shit Kaepernick did 4 years ago, even if he didn't get it then, like Drew Brees, like he like, oh, I didn't get it, and then I stand for the flag. But then all his other players is like, yo, bro, I mean, don't you see what Kaepernick was talking about? And he was like, oh, I didn't know. Going back to the whole thing about like I wouldn't be a grown person, like grown man now, knowing shit about the world and make fun of Asian people. Because that's fucked up. I'm not gonna be like, I didn't know. Because you're just willfully ignorant. So again, George Floyd happened and he made this video 3 months after and still acting like what Kaepernick did was a media circus. Like I said, if he didn't get the shit when he started kneeling, can't you see the shit now? But see, that's just like that it is. And then you don't see the dude's face, so you can't catch him in the streets. He just hides behind his computer and just speaks what's called an anonymity, and just hides so he would never get touched up. Show his face and just let him get beat in the streets then. I'm all for that. And it's like you advocating violence. I mean, not all the time, but to a certain point, some people need to get touched up. Because back when I was growing up, you talk some shit, 3 o'clock after school, somebody laid hands on you. Now, people don't want to lose and all this other bullshit. People want to hide all the goddamn time. I mean, that's just how it is. People face real consequences when I was growing up. You said some shit, somebody was going to get you. I mean, you just had to run home or have your mom pick you up. But if you took the bus or you walked home, somebody was going to get it. Now, people don't want to do that. I mean, that's just the long and short of it. And I don't care how fucked up that shit sound. Because it's fucked up the shit you're saying. And then it'd be like all these shits, and they always whining, but then these be the same dudes talking about, oh, facts don't care about your feelings. But then they want to whine when the facts hit their ass. And they want to be crying. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, don't fuck with me, dude. I mean, don't let the onesie and this bunny hat fool you. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm cool. I mean, we could talk. We could have a respectable conversation and shit. But as soon as you get buck, I'ma just have to. It's gonna be some slow singing, flower bringing, bro. And I just did this. What is it? 11 o'clock in the morning and shit. And I just didn't feel like putting on something. You see what I'm saying? That's just how it is. I mean, I'm secure in my manhood. Apparently, some people that cry about representation of different people are not secure in their manhood and listening to these garbage pseudo intellectuals that get everything wrong. Like, why the fuck am I gonna listen to somebody and say they're intellectual and they get shit wrong? That's like hiring a contractor that can't build the building. Like, why am I gonna listen to this person? Like, what the fuck is up with that? I mean, that's on some real shit. Like I said, these dudes, they sound pathetic and weak. And women don't want weak dudes. I mean, you might have some chicks that like sensitive dudes, but not even. I mean, that's sensitive. I mean, it's just a outright asshole and be like, "Yeah, chick, I want somebody to take your rights from you, but I'm expecting you to still give me some." Like, okay, wow. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. That's what the whole thing about these incels fall apart because you sit up there getting mad about. Like I said, I get the whole frustration. But chicks ain't giving you none. Chicks ain't giving me none. I mean, shit. But just like, oh fuck these shit. Matter of fact, like there was. It's just like I got burned talking to chicks a couple times. But I'm not gonna be like women shouldn't get shit. I mean, I got a mother and a grandmother and cousins and shit. I don't want nobody taking this shit from them. But the man was talking about, oh, women, they don't need rights. Fuck that. Like, yo, I mean, this shit was, man, that shit was funny. But it was on some serious shit. I mean, the chick cheated on him. What? That's fucked up. I mean, I would be mad too. But advocating the abolishment of women's rights. I mean, god damn, son, that shit was fucked up. That shit was fucked up. I'm not gonna say the dude's podcast neither, cause I know what type of person his ass is on. I know what he's on, dude, cause he's one of these dudes. I'm not even gonna say, cause he was, I think, if I could remember, he was playing some game. I'm not even gonna say the name of the game or what style is on, cause I just like, yo, damn, dude, I don't know where to go with this handle. But like I said, the shit is funny to a certain degree. I mean, but then it's like some real world serious shit. But other than that, it's just crazy. Like I said, I could wear. I got like multiple onesies. I could wear them shits and be secure in my shit, and just let the shit ride out. Like I said, if you complaining about women and the LGBT and all these other groups that want to be like represented and you want to be mad, that obviously you're not securing your shit and there's something wrong with you. Because again, what does that have to do with me? If like I said, if there was a transgender man or woman and they was like, oh, this, that, and the other, okay, I'm like, that's how you feel. You want to be represented somewhere. I'm not stopping you. It's like whatever to me. Like if they made like the new Star Wars, like has some person, like it was a person of color, like a Hispanic woman or that was trans in as the lead character. I mean, I didn't create Star Wars, so I'm not gonna be mad at it. I'm gonna just be like, whatever. It's just whatever to me. I'm not gonna be upset about the shit. Cause what, like I said, what does that have to do with me? I don't have no stakes in Star Wars or Disney. I don't know George Lucas or Kathleen Kennedy. It's just like what, oh, that's the way they want to go. If they lose money because of that, that's them. I'm not losing nothing. Like the whole race shit. And then here's the thing. With the dude talking about, like, the host of the podcast agreed with the dude talking about women shouldn't have shit. Now let's find out later down the line, he eventually gets a chick, he gets her pregnant, and they have a daughter. Let's see if he still feels that women shouldn't have nothing. Because he would not want his daughter living in a world where somebody's fucking with her. Because he'd be the main one mad, and rightfully so. But if you want to have this shit now because you ain't living like that, you don't have kids, you probably don't have a child. I don't have kids. I don't have a girlfriend. Never been married. So, but I'm not going to be talking about like, or being different of it, like, oh, women, yeah. I mean, if they get their rights taken away, I mean, they should have tried to secure that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say that. I mean, that's fucked up. People should be like living good and free and shit in this, in a first world country that's supposed to be free. But you trying to fuck with people. Oh, man, I did that already. Yeah, that shit is just it's just insane to me, man. And I'm not even trying to be like an advocate or like champion the shit. I'm just like, it's just. And even with the whole Ghostbusters thing with Melissa McCarthy, I mean, like I said, Ghostbusters ain't my thing. I never even seen the movie. But it's just like, no, I can't do. Wait a minute. But it's just like it's not like off of that. It's just like I said, that's the way they want to go in the direction of the shit. It's like that's on them. I mean, making videos. I mean, it was, and this is channel that be making. It was they were making mad videos on that Ghostbusters shit. I mean, they was making hardcore videos, and they was just talking about the shit like, oh man. I mean, they was like on some real shit about that, and I'm like, I mean, and then some of the stuff that was happening behind the scenes was fucked up. Like I said, it's like it's a valid criticism. Like some of the stuff was a valid criticism. Some of the other stuff wasn't, and it was just too much. Wait a minute, how is this gonna happen? Oh no, that ain't bad. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It should be wild. I'm like, dude. Cause it was just like it was this one guy. And this is my point. It was this one dude. and we was talking about like at the convention, I think Iron Man 3 was coming out. And there's one dude, he was like I said, we was all talking about like superheroes. And I'm not that big of a fan of the whole superhero thing. Cause I just think it's just the writing is corny to me. And it's just how could I say this? Like I said, it's just certain things is just corny to me. Put it that way. And it's like, and then you get into the realm of certain stuff, and it's like I can make my own shit and all this. It's just anyway. And so the dude, now I'm gonna even give you, I'm gonna even say a backstory of like how this, like how I even grew up. But before I do, this dude, we was at the convention. It was Wizard World. No, I think it was C2E2. And so we was talking about superheroes, and then I was talking about rather Spider-Man or Iron Man. And he got upset because I was like, they weak to me, whatever. And he got mad. And I'm looking at, and me and the dude that I was hanging out with was looking at each other like this motherfucker's crazy. Because not only me and him had our own thing going, but it's like you're upset over a character that ain't yours. You have no stock in Marvel to be mad. Even the people at Marvel wouldn't be mad at it because they're making their money. Even if this character was like your dude and you like if you talk about Sonic or the Ninja Turtles or something or Motoko from Ghost in the Shell, I'm not gonna get mad at it. It'd be like, oh, you don't like it? That's you, bro. Like when I was working at FedEx, it was this dude, and we was all talking about like who's the greatest basketball player. And this was in 2010 at FedEx, and we was all in the break room before our shift started. And we was talking about like, oh, Michael Jordan and Michael Jordan was this, and then this dude was talking about LeBron James, but LeBron James ain't Jordan, and Kobe, but he ain't got as much rings as Jordan, and all this stuff. And then Bill Russell, if you talking about rings, look at Bill Russell, but oh, look who Bill Russell was playing against. It was just this whole thing. So one dude sat up there was like, oh, but Derrick Rose is tight. And we basically like, well, not me, but Rock, this dude, it was Rock and Tim that brought up this whole conversation. And so Rock was basically saying, oh, Derrick Rose is weak. The man literally, it was like a sliding technique or some shit. He kind of stepped forward and slid at the same time, got in his face like, what the fuck you calling Derrick Rose weak for? And so everybody was like, yo, whoa, whoa. And then Rock was like, man, if you don't get out of my face. People had to pry the dude off. Why are you getting in the man's face for saying you don't know Derrick Rose? Derrick Rose don't know you fighting in his honor. I'm like, dude, why are you taking this shit to the extreme? It's just like, yo, man, some people just gotta chill sometimes. People just honestly gotta chill. Now, it's just like, even with me, growing up, the superhero genre really wasn't all that growing up. It's not like how it is now. So growing up is a whole different thing to me. The things that we had was X-Men the animated series and Batman the animated series. That was pretty much as far as the superhero thing was was like pretty much those two. And so, well, like when they came out with like the X-Men games, like we played the arcades, but it was just like the games, and that was it. That was as far as it went. It wasn't that people was like Superman was almost like a non-entity. He basically didn't even exist in our world. Like he was just like we knew he existed, and the Hulk, and it was like whatever. I mean, Black Panther wasn't even the thing then. It was just like cool. Like if you talk about the Black Panthers, or Black Panther, we'd be thinking you talking about the movement. So it was just like whatever for these characters, and so I liked X Men then, then, and then we played Sonic was a big thing because the whole speed and going fast. Streets of Rage was the shit. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and then when like Final Fantasy showed up was in like '07. I mean not '07, '97. Me, Nick, and Joshua was playing that, and and then when and those were kind of like the things that you could see shape Black Dragon #8, my project. You could see those influences in there, and it's like, and even like the whole ability of flight was the thing for me. Like if they were like, if you had superpowers, I mean, it'd be flight. You know, because I had cousins living in another state, and it'd be faster to see them and shit. So I just combined all that together, and then like in around '97, between '97 and '99, like 90, yeah, '97, '99. My friend Joshua, he liked Spider-Man. But it was like, I kind of ragged on him. I kind of roasted him on Spider-Man weak. But it was never like a civil war out of the shit. He was like, oh, he ain't weak. And that was the end of it. It wasn't like, I got to get on social media, even though there was no social media at the time. I got to like roast the dude for life. It was just like, some people like Coke. Some people like Pepsi. I like Sonic. My mom likes Mario. I like cats. My mom likes dogs. We may heat up on each other a little bit, but I mean, it's not like I'm trying to kill her in her sleep. And so, like nobody, like I said, nobody even really heard about Iron Man and all these characters like how it is now. Like I said, this was in the '90s. So when no, Street Fighter vs. X-Men came out, we played it. It was a fighting game. That was it. Motherfucking then Capcom, what is it? Capcom versus Marvel. Especially too. I like playing with Psylocke because I like playing with female characters. And I used to play Psylocke because she was thick. But if you really wanted to get it in, you played with three people: Cyclops, Iron Man, and Cable. Because they had the beams. And that was some cool shit. But nobody talked about Iron Man after you turned the game off. It was like those were the ones you picked. There was no Black Panther. There was no Thor, even though he was in it as a striker, but nobody picked him as a striker. He was a non-entity. So, like growing up and then like seeing all these superhero movies now, it's just like oh, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I mean, some people like it. I'm not even heating up on people that like the shit. But it's just like when you take it too far and be like getting mad. Like the whole dude, like the dude that made Deadpool, somebody on social media was like when the dude said Deadpool, the creator was like Deadpool should be like rated R or something. Some guy on Twitter was like, what the fuck do you know? He made the shit. He knows how his shit is gonna be like. I mean, when you like I said, you take people take this shit too extreme. I mean, fighting each other over telling the creator that he don't know what his own shit would be like. Like I said, if you like the characters, I mean, just like the characters. No, don't fight nobody over it. Like I said, it's just too much these days. It's just too extreme. What the hell am I doing? Cause it's just like the guy with some Mexican dude in Mexico. He was talking about God of War changed his life, and people at the studio gave him like a whole bunch of like God of War stuff. It's like that's cool. I never played God of War. I'm not gonna be all like, oh, God of War. He like, I mean, it's just I never played it, so I'm not gonna be. I mean, if he changed the man's life, that's good for him. That's 100%. He got courage out of Kratos. He found himself in Kratos. That's what's up. No shade, no nothing. But if you start going to Spartan rage because somebody heated up on the man, then you're gonna black out real quick. Cause it's just you just going too far. It's just too much. You just man, dude. It's just too much. I mean, cause all these first world problems, like some people need to relax, man. But like I said, I know the whole thing. I understand. I know where all this shit is coming from. I just know where all this is coming from. I know why. Cause I mean, I read some chapters in the psychology book. I mean, I get it. I see it. You know what? Fuck it. I shouldn't have done that. Like I said, I'm a dude. Like I said, I just like I said, you ain't hurting me. You ain't hurting nobody. It's just like, fuck it. Just live and let live. Just live and let live, dude. Like I don't like first person shooters. But if you like the shit, then that's cool, dude. That's cool for you, bro. Like I tried to get into Deus Ex, and I was like, nah. I was like, nah, fam. But if you like Deus Ex, if you think that's the greatest game that you've ever played in your whole life, then that's fine, dude. I mean, different strokes. I mean, you basically trying to force everybody to do your shit, and then, like I said, if you want to get mad over this stuff, it's like I completely see. I can see why you're seriously getting upset about this because you think somebody's taking something from you. Like I said earlier, nobody's taking shit from you, dude. I mean, because the world is smaller, but yet anybody could be into different shit. Anybody could be into different shit nowadays. You ain't gotta be all like, I mean, everybody could have a piece of the pie and bust a nut in your eye. But anyway, see, this is the problem, kind of. Anyway, like what I'm doing right now, like I said, I came up with this just off of the dome. And this is somewhat, it's not even a problem to be honest, but this is somewhat of an issue when you come up with something on the fly, just right off the, like, cause a lot of stuff that I be thinking about, I already have it in my head. Cause even what they say about draft writing, like one of the rules of writing a script, cause I was telling this dude, I used to be friends with this guy, but I'm not friends with him no more. But he used to tell me all the time, you need to come up with drafts of your script. You need to come up with drafts. And it's like, but why should I? If I already know where the script goes. If I already know how the shit is gonna go, there's no need for like to make drafts of the same shit over and over again. Especially like with the Black Dragon #8 movies I wrote. I've been dealing with this shit ever since like this whole project since 1999. Like the characters live in my brain. Like they eat breakfast and they do like normal shit when they ain't fighting or blowing up the whole universe or some shit. So it's just like I know how whatever direction, it's like they lead themselves. I already know, like it writes itself. So I don't need drafts of nothing. But it's just like he didn't get it until I was explaining this shit to him. And he finally got it, I guess. But it's just like, damn, you know what I need to do. Yeah. But the dude he wasn't getting it. But like in this case, like I'm up here just trying to figure out off the fly, like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? Like in this case, I should have thought about it more. Like I said, I just came up, like as I'm sitting here talking, I just came up with this. Like I was just making like a flat, like box sword. So it basically is what it is. Now, if I was like taking a few hours like thinking about it, I wouldn't be trying to come up with any ideas because I would have just already had it. But like if you didn't know how your script was gonna go or whatever, I mean, I could kind of see people. I see the method in like coming up with drafts, but like for me though, and the other movies I wrote, there was no need for all that. Like I knew how it was gonna go before I like had, you know, before I even had the programming to begin with. So it's like that's you that needs the shit, not me. Cause he used to have like mad drafts all the time, and I'm like, nah, because first of all, I'm a creative person by nature. Like I said, I come from an artist background, drawing, and anytime I get involved in something, I can get into that thing. Like if it's a creative process, I can get into that thing because I like the whole creating like a sword or some shit. That shit is that's my like wheelhouse. Like just coming up with shit. And then even the dude was like, "Oh, you like sci-fi? That's your wheelhouse." No, I got all types of. I got like a regular drama movie. I got an action movie, some sci-fi shit. I mean, I could write any story. You know, like the first movie that I wrote, there was no superpowers in it. It was about these dudes working at a store like Walmart. They work. I'm not gonna say the premise of the story, and it's not like the Superstore neither. I mean, it was like a drama. You know, like it would be an indie film at Sundance or some shit, and it's just like, you know what I mean? I mean, that's just I could just that's just how I get down. So anything about creativity, I'm all for that shit. And I could just sit back and just rock out with my cock out, and I'll be cool. But see, some people just don't think outside the box and get the shit. Cause I don't know what they're stuck on, but they're stuck on something. And I kept telling him that over and over again. That's why when I got this shit, I was like after the whole learning how this works process, then after that was cool. It was cool for me. I'm like, oh, I could create this. Like, I mean, I'm creating like whatever I want to. So that's what's up for me. That's why I don't really have a problem with like I gave myself a 20-year time frame to make this game. And I know that's a long time. But like for me, like I'm just enjoying the process. I'm just having a good time with this shit. Trying to just figure out as I go along and what looks cool and what like oh like and this like I said it's like the process of learning it and figuring out what looks good what doesn't. It's almost like it's not like I'm failing or enjoying failing, but it like just the whole thing of what works what doesn't work. How does this look? What if I did that? What does this do? That type of thing. And that's how you get better at shit. And you learn how to certain processes work like process works. And then it's like playing video games all my life and then making the things that I was playing like or something like that like oh that's cool. Or like writing movies and scripts like actually seeing like I've seen some movie scripts before because even the dude I used to be friends with, he gave me like a folder full of like movie scripts like Some Like It Hot, just a whole bunch of movies, just a whole bunch of shit. And then just looking at it like that's how this looks. Like you see, like you watch these movies and you see Hollywood shit, and then you see this is how it looks. Like this is what like Leonardo DiCaprio was reading. I think I got The Departed. Like this is it. and then you actually write your shit that look like that. That shit is crazy. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but it's just like the whole thing, because I wrote like a 300-page novel, and like my novels was like my first novel was like 300 something pages, and you know, over 100 pages of stuff in a novel. But like learning the rules of script writing, like you can't have 100 like a 300-page novel. I mean a 300-page movie script. You know what I'm saying? So it was like that learning how to condense all like 300 something pages into this, because you might see like a fight scene in a movie, like how I used to write fight scenes, but like this dude got hit by like a 20 hit combo and shit, and then like he went through the wall, he came back, he threw him through a building, the building blew up, and he was like, oh man, you can't fuck me up, son. And then it's like this whole thing, but when you see the shit in a movie script, it'd be like this, whatever your main character's name is, fights whatever the bad guy's name is. And it's like, that's it. that's what I was like. Or like a gunfight is not as long as, like, you know, when if you make your scripts and shit in Hollywood, you know, all the whole like choreography of the whole thing comes into play. But when you write in the script, it just basically looks bland. It is just like, damn. Like and even I still have this bad habit of detailing the fight scenes to a certain degree where it's not overbearing, and I could make the script count. Because what he say is like script economy and all this other stuff. You gotta take that into play, and it's like, yeah, I still can't get, because more when I do this whole detailing of certain things in my scripts, it's more for me to remember what I'm doing. Cause I'll be right, like after I do this on after what, like this whole game, like making this sword and doing this shit. After that, I basically write. I write the script on my phone, but then I put it in my laptop and I convert it into the script program. So, but like, you know, I'll be writing so much, I just don't want to forget what type of theme this fight or whatever action stuff happens. So it's more for me to remember than the people like that will read the script. Now if it now if this it was like finally getting into Hollywood, I could just take that, like the detail parts out, and just have like the script look, you know, it wouldn't have the detail in it. But other than that, other than that, like I said, the whole creative process and being creative, that's the thing. And learning this shit is great. You know, like I said, this shit don't bother me. This shit does not bother me at all. But see, dude that I was talking about, I mean, he ended up being an asshole, though. Cause he said some crazy shit, and I was like, I can't fuck with you, dude. I just couldn't fuck with him. Yeah, I couldn't fuck with him after that. I was like, wow. And see, that's the thing, how crazy this shit is. Like, just the shit he said was crazy. And it was like, that's the society we living in nowadays. Where you can say some crazy shit like that and people supposed to be like, oh, I'ma still fuck with you. Nah. He didn't say nothing crazy about me, but certain people he was sticking up for, and then it was like, it was just too ridiculous. And I was like, that's how you feel, dude. And he's just like, yeah. I was like, bye, dude. And I had to bounce. Cause it was too much. Cause he was the dude on the podcast talking crazy. And then even the stuff he was saying on the podcast was just so out there. Cause he was like, damn, I don't want to say what he said, cause some people might hear this like eventually, I don't know, or then try to track back like, oh, damn, who would say something like that? But he was just too extreme. Yeah, he was just too much. But like I said, that's what's wrong with people. But after I put this in there, I'm about to go. Man, stuff is too radical these days. And people just need to step back, chill, think about what's really important, and be on some real shit for, like, I mean, it's just like I said, just sit back, think what's important and shit, and just be like, just live and let people live. If they ain't fucking with you, then stop fucking with other people, man. That's how I live my life. Cause you be trying to shut people down, you look weak, dude. Cause if you just was doing you, you wouldn't care. But that's just how it is, though, man. People just too much. Oh shit! Somebody said, "Who are you talking about?" Hold up. See, I never even seen this. Who is dude? Wait a minute. He probably left. He probably bounced though. Cause I didn't even know somebody was in here. Damn, see, cause I never even checked this shit. I ain't think nobody was on here. See, and when did he? Damn. Damn, son. I didn't even know who this. Oh man, dude, somebody was actually watching my ass. What was how you pronounce icon 4LYF leaf? Icon 4 leaf? I guess. Yo, if this dude is still in here. Yo, like I said, I didn't even know, dude. That shit was. I should have had my shit on my phone, son. Damn. Cause I just be talking and shit. Nobody's watching my channel until today. I hate when that shit happens. I hate when you be like, I'm not gonna do this certain thing or fuck this or something or whatever the case is, and the thing happens and you be like, oh dude, I missed out because I didn't do the thing. Like I said, I'm just talking and this dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if I click on him? Yeah, this account since 2014. He left a message. Oh, damn. Oh, damn, dude. That shit is crazy. Yo, that shit is insane. Oh, damn, that shit is fucked up. I missed out on this dude. Yo. And it'll be crazy because I've been doing this shit for like an hour and 47 minutes. It'll be crazy if he did this shit like soon as I started. Oh, come on, dude. Wow. Yo, that shit is insane. Cause I don't have, I'm like I said, I should have had, oh, come on now. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm kind of like, oh, this is disappointing and shit. He was like, "Who are you talking to?" Oh no, who he said? Yeah, who are you talking to? I mean, don't matter. It don't matter. I mean, I'm not just gonna sit here and be silent and people be listening. Like whenever people catch on to this and be like, "Oh, he ain't saying nothing," I gotta say something. And I'm just talking about everybody, every goddamn body. Oh man, that's insane. What is this? Well, this see, and then I'm new to this whole Twitch shit. I see like how you could ban people, time out, make mod, add friend, whisper. I clicked the whisper to try to be like, yo, man, you still in here? They're like, oh, that shit is insane. Oh wow. I'm not trying to be like, yo, this is just one dude, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, this one dude could, you know, icon 4 leaf, I guess. IKON, the number 4LYF. Damn. Damn, dude. I wish I would have known. That's some bullshit. That is some bullshit, dude. This is the first guy that actually was like watching and sent me a message and shit. And I missed him. Son of a bitch. See, now it's like I gotta have my phone on now. Cause I was operating like after all this, like I've been streaming ever since like November 1st. And then sitting up there like, yo, nobody's watching me. So like after a week, cause I was using my phone and kind of glancing at the chat, like if somebody gonna say something, nobody get it. I get these little weird messages talking about you want to be famous and shit. So they seem like bots or something, like not a real person. But this dude seemed like a legit dude though. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't say nothing. I mean, he said something. He was a legit dude. He actually said something. And now I didn't even know he was there because I don't have my phone on the chat. Damn, I could have been like holding a conversation with the dude. Damn, that's fucked up. Damn. But regardless of that, and he probably gonna be like, fuck him then. I ain't gonna never say nothing. Fuck his channel and shit or whatever. It's just like whatever, man. I mean, not whatever, but that's fucked up. Cause like I said, this is my first month on here. I'm kind of new to this shit, so maybe next time. But I will see you next time.